Hello, I'm James Cridland, the radio futurologist, and every week or so I write a newsletter all about the future of radio, and this is it in podcast form. For March the 2nd, 2025, RAJAR's MIDAS study and a look ahead to Radiodays. In the UK, RAJAR has published its MIDAS survey for Q4 2024, and it's a study which should be required reading for anyone interested in audio consumption. Podcasts got the highest weekly reach figure yet, 26% of all British adults, and they're most consumed by those aged 35 to 54, where they enjoy a 35% reach. However, podcasts still only account for 9% of total time spent listening to audio, including catch-up radio. Live radio still is listened to more than 7 times longer. And time spent listening to podcasts is very interesting to me, and I can't really see how that's doing from this data. Yes, podcasts have increased in share of total time spent listening, but so has the reach of podcasts, so I can't quite see if people are listening longer. RAJAR does say, though, that the total number of weekly hours listening to audio has increased by 16% since winter 2019. The 15-plus UK population has increased too, but only by 10.4% incidentally, so it is a real increase. I'm fascinated at these numbers every quarter. I find them absolutely fascinating work, and you should go and take a look at them. You'll find them linked from the link that you'll find in the show notes. Talking about being fascinated by numbers, the Infinite Dial 2025 from Edison Research is being revealed in a webinar on March the 20th, which contains even more helpful and useful numbers from the US market, and I will definitely be watching this year. I've got no choice, since I'm also presenting it as well. So excited. You should join Megan Lazovic and I as a special 2 days after my birthday treat. It's free to sign up. There's a link in the show notes, and I will see you then. Now, I'm really looking forward to Radio Days Europe next week. Some times for your diary are Monday, 4:05 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. in track 3, the audio landscape of the future. It says here, what are the big trends in audio consumption right now? How is audio production changing? How is it being monetized? What does it mean for radio and for podcasting? Is our audience changing the way they listen? And if so, should we change to meet them? The world's only radio futurologist, that's a lie, James Cridland, looks at the available data to uncover the likely path of radio and audio in the future. I'm not the world's only radio futurologist. There's a man in Ghana who I did some training to and thought that radio futurologist was such a good job title, he would be one too, and why not? Anyway, it's very much a look at the unique selling points of radio and audio, what we should be doing to maximize them. Yes, you can expect a ton of data, but also some good examples, I hope, of where we might be going. And then on Tuesday, one of the last sessions of the conference, 1:45 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. in track 3, radio station marketing, hits and misses. As marketing budgets grow smaller, it's never been more important to ensure that the marketing for your radio station is focused and effective, whether it's TV spots, social media, or even promotional items. In this session, the radio futurologist James Cridland, that's me, who was formerly an advertising copywriter, shares some of his favourite radio station marketing with the international audio consultant Francis Curry and executive creative director at McCann, Aleka Papadia, discover the hits and the misses from the point of view of an award-winning creative and a successful radio programmer, and gain new insights into how to grow your audience. Now listen, this is a session I have always wanted to do. I'm super looking forward to it after finally convincing the folks at Radio Days to do it, one of whom listens to this podcast. So I always have to be careful what I say. It says that I'm showing off some of my favourite marketing. Now, favourites doesn't always mean that they're any good. And I've got one shocker of a waste of money, which I'm looking forward to showing off. Let's hope that nobody responsible for it is in the room, because otherwise that'll be embarrassing, won't it? Obviously, I've written both of those presentations by now. And I have absolutely no stress whatsoever over the next week or so. But super looking forward to that. If you are going to Radio Days Europe, please drop me an email. It would be wonderful to catch up. james@cridland.net is my email address, or james@crid.land. And that would be fantastic. Elsewhere, other news, Global's CEO Stephen Myron is stepping back from his role this month after 16 years in charge. The media leader interviewed him at the end of last year, and their podcast is worth a listen. Global is an awe-inspiring company with a lot to teach the rest of the media. The BBC's confirmed that BBC Sounds is to close to international users this spring, which is officially any time from now to the end of May. I bet it'll be the end of May, personally. Anyway, they say UK users who go on holiday outside the UK for a short period of time will still be able to use the BBC Sounds app abroad, which is intriguing, which suggests that all BBC domestic radio will no longer be available to international listeners, except BBC Radio 4 and BBC World Service, both of which exist on the new BBC Audio International product. Although, if you have a look on the bbc.com website, audio is now a top-level navigation, which is excellent. It also gains a rail on the front page as well. So it's good to see that the BBC's audio is finally being given much more prominence on the website, as it should have been. So that's very good. All things change when you get rid of the things that you can't make money out of. So congratulations to them. Now, you might have heard that Now and Then, the Beatles track that came out last year, was made with AI, and there's a really nice explainer about how they used AI to make it from none other than Giles Martin, who ought to know, on YouTube. I regularly give live demos of AI tools for radio and podcast creators. Many of them aren't generative AI, making new stuff, but are the AI tools like the ones Giles shows off. And it's really good to see such a clear explanation of what they did. And in Australia, to follow up from SCA's redundancies last week, ARN has announced a $40 million cost-cutting exercise over the next 3 years. Its Australian radio business was flat last year. The company also owns an out-of-home advertising company in Hong Kong, which has done really well. Now, here's a fun fact. ARN used to own an out-of-home company in Australia, as well as a street furniture company called Adshell. So what might have been? I bet they're kicking themselves that they sold those companies now. Anyway, speaking next, as you just heard, Radiodays Europe in Athens in Greece. Also Radio, new word, Days Ireland, which is in Dublin in Ireland towards the end of the month. Evolutions in Chicago, in Illinois in the US, assuming it's still a place where anybody wants to fly to, between March the 31st and April the 3rd. Then I'll be at Radiodays North America in Toronto in early May, the podcast show in London in late May, Podcast Movement in Dallas, Texas, probably August 18th to the 21st. Still a bit sort of conflicted about that, given what's going on in the US right now. Radiodays Asia, perhaps, in September. We're still waiting for news on how Radiodays Asia pans out this year, but it should be good however it pans out. I'm going to Pennine Radio's 50th and final birthday, which should be fun in Bradford. I'll be there somehow. Should probably book my hotel room for that. Let's hope that they haven't sold out. And Pod Summit YYC in Calgary in Canada, September 19th to the 20th. That should be good fun too. So looking forward to all of those. Thank you to everybody who is a supporter. Buymeacoffee.com/James Cridland is the place to go. If you regularly give me coffee, then you should perhaps consider joining as a member and just automatically regularly giving coffee. That would be good. But anyway, you can do that. You can also follow me on Blue Sky at james.crid.land or at Mastodon, where I'm most active, at james@bne.social. Is where I am. My website's more detail about who I am or what I do and if I can help you. james.crid.land is the website address. And until next time, keep listening.